Thanks for being with us today. Tell us how it all began. How did it start? When did it start?
For me, it started April 4th of 1994. I dropped out of college. I wanted to move back home. My adopted dad said that'd be just fine, but I had to get a job. Okay. So he suggested that I go down to the gym and I try this wrestling thing that my brother Ken was doing. Okay. That was my start. As it was explained to me, we were doing submission wrestling, and it was a martial art. And I went down, I tried out, and I made it.
Was that the Lions Den?
That was at the Lions Den.
And where was that?
That was in Lodi, California. Stuck in Lodi.
Yeah, I remember the song.
Oh yeah. So we were there, and the tryout was pretty gnarly. It was 500 squats, 500 sit-ups, 500 leg lifts, 250 push-ups, and then I sparred Ken for 20 minutes. And he broke my ribs, broke my nose, and tore my knees out, and then he decided that I was ready to be a submission fighter.
So you weren't a shoe-in, you didn't just come
No, actually, Ken didn't really want me there. It was, my dad was sort of made him do it, and he kind of resented it in the way that, I wasn't a fighter, and I wasn't an athlete, in the sense that, I hadn't trained sports, or I didn't play sports in college and stuff. And he really put it to me because he didn't really want me to be there. He didn't want me to get the easy ride, which was his thing. Everyone's got to work for it. So he instilled that in my face and the rest of my body.
How many championships now? What are we talking about? I see all these belts.
I have about, I have 5, 6, 7, I have 8 belts, and those are from 4 world championships, 4 world titles that I held. And a couple of those I defended a few times, so I got some belts for that, and sometimes they just give me big trophies and whatnot. But yeah, it's 4 world titles is the correct titles for the titles. Titles are the titles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. The right steps to take for a young fighter who wants to follow in your footsteps.
The right steps to take, first and foremost, are to find yourself a good trainer, a good teacher, a good mentor, somebody who genuinely cares about you and your development. Because you can go as far as you want, but without help, you're never going to get to the highest level. Find a good, mentor, teacher, whatever you want to call them, somebody that can guide you, and then start, competing. Start amateur. Start, in the gym. Start at the smokers on the weekends. Start at the amateur stuff on, Saturdays, and then work your way up. A lot of guys, have 15, 20, 25 amateur competitions before they ever have a professional match, and I think that is the best way to go. Build confidence in yourself and your techniques and your style, and then decide if you're gonna, if you want to get punched in the head for money.
How has the martial arts helped you outside of the ring?
Well, martial arts have done everything for me. I mean, I was a complete mess before I got this stuff going. I spent my entire youth in institutions, and I left home when I was 12, and I had a really, really rough life up until the point where I discovered martial arts. And they really focused my energy and focused my desire to accomplish things. I came from a broken home, alcoholics, abuse, everything. And when I left home, I was basically set free. But when you set a 13-year-old kid free on the world who doesn't, really have, grounded morals, or I just went wild. I absolutely went crazy. And this was the thing that focused my spirit. That's what I like to call it. Got me spiritually involved in life. Before then, I was just sort of screwing around and causing trouble and being an idiot. And I was being an idiot because I was traumatized. I had a rough life, and I didn't know what to do about it. And I didn't know how to get it out to deal with it. And this was what got it out. People think that it's crazy and, over the top. But, before this, I was hurting people on the streets. I mean, I was a bad person.
A non-professional.
I was worse than a non-professional. I was a delinquent. But I honestly didn't know better. I thought that when I'm in pain, I should cause other people pain. That if someone gets stolen from me, I should steal from someone else, because that's how I was raised.
So the martial arts kind of turned that around.
Martial arts gave me a life and gave me a code and a guideline to live my life by. That was, you know, that was my